This is Mile High.
We have to do it better in order to move people along.
Up, down, inside out.
If you get your mind right,
it is not. It is a receiver of thought.
because love is my first technique.
It's now time for the show.
Welcome to the Mile High Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Daniel Knowles, coming to you from 5,280 feet. Mile High is just 6 months away. If you have not reserved your seats, certainly do that at www.milehighchiro.org. And it's August 16th to 19th. I am super psyched for everybody that listens to this on iTunes and Stitcher and YouTube and Facebook and all the channels. This is downloaded internationally. And I'm also super psyched to bring our guest today, who's one of our speakers at Mile High this year. Dr. Denisa Weber serves people out of Dallas, and she is on fire for TIC. Welcome to the Mile High Podcast, Denisa.
Thank you. I'm so excited to join the Mile High family.
We're super excited for you too. I mean, my wife, Dr. Rochelle, met you at the League of Chiropractic Women Retreat, I believe it was.
Yes.
And she just came back. You've got to contact Denisa. She's got to be at Mile High. So I'm really excited to get to chat with you today.
I'm excited to get to finally chat with you as well.
And I mean, you've done so many incredible things. Mom Approved Chiropractor by Dallas Child Magazine 5 years in a row is super cool. And chiropractor with 2 little ones, which is also a whole thing in and of itself, being a mom and a chiropractor, and we'll talk about that, and a 100% cash-based chiropractor. So it's super excited to have you here. Let's dive in, first of all, just briefly, for those that don't know you, to get to know you by how you found your way into chiropractic.
Yeah, I just always been in awe of the body and it actually started in a trip to Disney World, believe it or not. Cranium Command is no longer in Epcot, but it was definitely my jam.
I remember that.
Do you remember?
I do remember that.
Somebody YouTube channel, somebody recorded it before they tore it down. I wonder if they have something similar to it. But my mom was like, after that, I knew that you were going to be in some kind of some sort of field with about the body, and I thought that for a long time was going to be more exercise physiology, because I am an exercise physiologist. Studied that and then went into cardiac rehab and was an inpatient outpatient cardiac rehab for about 2.5 years in Bryan College Station. And I just knew, one of my favorite patients was a lady who's since passed away, but she spoke to me. She was like, "You just sound so much like my chiropractor." And because I was always about what they could do and how their body could heal itself. Didn't know the chiropractic philosophy. I did receive chiropractic care as a child because I was a competitive gymnast, but not to I wasn't ongoing care. It was more of she got me back to where I needed to be,
right? Which
was huge. But it kind of tapped back to that history for me. But she spoke into a place where I was already seeking something else, and I feel that's where I know that chiropractic definitely was calling me to it. So, and that's where chiropractic and that avenue, this avenue, is where my soul expresses itself the best. So
awesome. And you shared with us a favorite quote: "The depth of your character will determine the vertical depth and horizontal reach of your influence." I've never heard that before, and I love it. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I've just been delving into leadership books lately, and just because I'm kind of in this place where I'm just in a deepening place. So a lot of times I talk to a lot about expansion and contraction, and it's just a normal thing, and even in the body and in life in general. But more than I'm thinking about it, and this quote definitely kind of sealed it for me, and it was just spoke to my soul, was that it was expansion, and then it's not contraction as much as it's deepening. It's the depth. In order for that depth, in order for your influence to reach more and to go wider, you have to deepen your understanding in whatever it is that you are doing, in parenting, in chiropractic. And just like in understanding your own self. Like so much of our, like we cannot expand our circle of influence unless we are willing to go deeper into everything. And that's where I feel like I'm at. And so that's why it's my favorite quote right now.
And that's a very good point of deepening your understanding of chiropractic, because you can go pretty deep with that, and so many people just scratch the surface, and we know chiropractic education for the most part scratches the surface, unfortunately. So this is why, constant growth is so important. Now,
Yes.
Currently in chiropractic, one of the things I'm really happy to see is my mom is a chiropractor, and I've got a chiropractic mom wife. Also, is that
Yeah.
the number of female chiropractors are growing. I mean, I serve at Sherman College on its board, and the last number I heard was that student population, female student body population, was at 49%. It was like just about the tipping point, which is very different from when I was in school. So, which is really exciting. What do you see? What are some of the challenges or exciting things of being a mom and a chiropractor?
I mean, well, it's a fully loaded question, isn't it? No, but I mean, it's just so amazing when you say those numbers. Like, it gets me excited because there is so much. This is a great profession for our females to be in, and so many moms relate to other moms, and we're busy working moms as well as the people that are coming into our offices, so we can definitely relate to them. But at the same time, like as a chiropractor, we are juggling. We are juggling a little bit differently than our male counterparts, who I dearly love, and I don't negate. Like it's not. I mean, part of me is like, I wish, I think we'd all be pissed if there was a men chiropractic, society. But like that, I feel like there's kind of like this, like. I get that women need to rally with each other, but men also need a place to rally together too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like if we're gonna have one, I feel like the men should have one, and it not be like on. But anyway, that's another separate issue in and of itself that I just feel passionate about. But maybe it's a little touchy for people. But anyway, but for as females, yes, we just totally we can. It's tough juggling kids, and I do have to have help in the home, and I have to have all these different things at play, and my inner driver wants to get so much done, and so much, like I want to see something through so quickly, and I know I can get it done, but it's not like my family's holding me back. It's just that this is like everything in your life is calling you into different places, and where I didn't have that before when I didn't have kids, so, and I've never had a practice without kids. So that's another thing. Like, I don't even know what that would have been like. But as females, we have to learn different ways to accomplish certain things and to get our stuff done. And we have to learn a lot about delegating and freeing ourselves of things that we know we can do and we can do well. But is it what we should be doing? Exactly.
So true. And my wife and I talk about that all the time in practice, in so many areas for both of us. What if now you've been practicing for how many years?
9.
So if you were to talk to a woman in chiropractic school, or maybe your first year of practice, like a new grad, what would be some key recommendations you would share with her?
Is to find it's more difficult to find your own way, but at the same time, it's also easy. Like if you're not going to try to take someone else's picture of what success looks like and place it on yourself, then it's easier. Versus, that's when it's difficult, is when you look at all these different ways, even that I'm doing it or someone else is doing it, and you try to place it on you and your circumstances, you're going to meet resistance. So, sometimes like practice management or any kind of coaching, people mean well, but you have to take it through your own filter, and you have to understand, like, does this work for me and my family? And that's a huge piece. That's why I love like female accountability. I have accountability partners who are female and they're rocking it in practice. Some of them are like has been in practice with them as well. And I just, we really heavily rely on each other and ask for different ways that they've navigated certain things. And it's just, getting information and having people speak into places that maybe you're not seeing things. And so I really heavily rely on community.
It takes a village, right? That's what Rochelle and I, we always say that. I mean, probably once a day we say it to each other. One of my friends, Jessica Harden, who spoke at Mile High last year, I don't know if you know her or not, she always said that it's not that it's harder being a female chiropractor, it's just different. You just have to do things differently. Yeah, and it can be more fun or more rewarding, depending on how you roll with all that. Let's talk a little bit of TIC. When you look at our profession, what are some of the things you see in terms of contradictions that are, what word do you want to use? Contradictions that you see are frustrating or maybe irritating?
Yeah, I mean, we come from this beautiful, this profession I love. It's so beautiful that it's all inside out philosophy. And I see so many grasping for outside in help. You've got a voice inside you. You have innate inside you. You have what God has given you inside you. It's guiding you. It led you to this profession. It pulled you in, or it called you out, or it did something. And yet we're pulling from different resources and or not. We want to be light. We want to help other people see their light and see their potential. And we talk about moving them from, whatever their symptoms are or whatever, and bringing that out and making sure that their health comes through and that they can live the best life. But then we're unable to look in the mirror at ourselves and say that we can see our light, basically. Where's our potential? And are we investing in that potential? And that's why I love conferences like Mile High and different places. I'm involved a lot with at Epic Community, and I've used them as far as community. But I mean, I've gone to Parker seminars and Cal Jam and all these things. You're investing in yourself, but you can't do it on the island, and you can't strengthen yourself by yourself. Doing it with the community, but I just feel like we cannot look at other people. That's my biggest thing. And I tell students this, you cannot look at other people and help them get to a place that you haven't been. And so we have to do that work for ourselves, and we have to deepen as far as our influence. We have to go in there and we have to do the work there.
Oh, I gotta tell you, so true. And for years, I had not gone to maybe I went to just the consulting programs I was in and didn't go to anything else in chiropractic. I went to my technique programs and consulting programs probably for a good decade or something. And then I went to Sherman Lyceum, and I hadn't been to any kind of big chiropractic gathering like that, as I said, maybe a decade. Nor were Sean. We were junkies on that stuff years before. And I hadn't gone. And when I went to Sherman Lyceum, I was like, I miss this. This is awesome, because I felt like I got around like-minded people that had the same vision. And I also realized that not only was I excited to see the speakers, I was excited to hear different people, but the conversations that happened in the hallways and the dinners and the time with people was just as valuable.
That's the best part.
Right.
Yeah. That's the best part, is being shoulder to shoulder with your chiropractic brothers and sisters, and everyone's navigating different things. And sometimes it's just good to hear you're not alone. Sometimes It's good to hear from someone who's just outside of where you're at, a little bit ahead, or someone who's just beginning their journey, and you're able to speak into their lives. But I just love being able to be alongside our chiropractic brothers and sisters, and just being able to, we've got a great profession. We just need to push it forward and serve as many people as we can, and allow people to see their potential and their light. And so that's why I say, if you can't see it yourself, you're standing in contradiction.
Right.
But that's one of my biggest things when I talk to students, is that piece of it.
Absolutely. And you touched on something there, kind of danced around it, but let's focus in on it, which is authenticity. One thing I think it's really in culturally is authenticity. Our culture shifted from plastic and fake maybe 2 decades ago to authenticity being really vital. And that's something chiropractors strive at, but I feel like somehow they've lost that. It's time for our profession to be more authentic.
Right. Absolutely. And that's, I mean, everyone knows, like, even moms know, like, you know who you can trust with your kids. And, people are always listening to that resonating meter inside and just wanting to, they can tell when you're BSing, or you can tell when someone's guessing you, or someone's really across the table connecting with you. And the more that we can show ourselves, the more that we can actually create and get support from other people, and also connect and liberate another person. There's a quote. That is probably one of my favorite quotes, but I can't even quote it right now. But it's like, and it's like freed people, free people. Yeah. So and I don't know who is responsible for that one, but somebody is. It's not me. But as far as like freed people, free people, and so we have to liberate ourselves from whatever chains we got going on that are keeping us from expressing our full selves. And when people see that light being expressed in you, they want to express their own. It inspires them to express their own light.
1,000%. And I know you're involved with, you mentioned Epic Practice, and you're involved with helping other chiropractic teams and mentoring them, which we really need, because people get out of school and they're somewhat lost in terms of what to do. And we need successful chiropractors, because if they're successful, they're being more impactful and helping more people, clearly. So with that, we have a lot of students that go to Mile High, which is one of my favorite things about it. I love seeing students that have not gotten as much of the chiropractic principle, find it there. What are some recommendations you would give students for growth in general? Yeah.
To see as many practices as possible, to just, expose themselves to how, different ways of serving. Sometimes through those lenses, we're able to see like what resonates with you. I love that aspect of their practice. I will say, making sure that you're authentic and not carbon copying somebody else's practice. Let's be like, it's just so interesting. There's been a lot of plagiarism in different places that I've noticed, and even in people with my own practice, but just, making sure we are totally respecting other people in our profession and their intellectual property, and respecting that that's their innate expression. And you need to know that even though you love their stuff, maybe you should rely on your own innate expression to come through and beautifully connect and create. So just be inspired by it. To know that innate's going to come through on your end, So, so making sure that students know, like, plagiarism. It ain't pretty. Nice. No, but I mean, like, it's just more of like making sure that they know that we all come. It's not all sunshine and roses. Like, what makes things better is walking through the mud, and going through hard conversations cleans up your communication levels. And just it's going to be one of those things where you're gonna get sharpened every step of the way. So, and enjoying that journey instead of saying, well, when I get to X, there is no X. Like, you're constantly evolving and changing, and that's what the most awesome thing about a vision is it's constantly moving and expanding as you get closer.
Excellent. And I was looking through your bio earlier, and you had mentioned it had on it, you didn't mention it, mom-approved healthcare provider, I think 5 years in a row, Best for Moms and Babies nominee. That's so cool, for Dallas Child. So, which means to me, you must take care of a lot of kiddos. So, yeah. So what are some keys of attracting kids to your practice?
Biggest keys are just, I love serving kids, and, we can seriously change the trajectory of a child's health by stepping in at the right time and stepping in earlier, right? So, we are 60% prenatal and pediatric, and absolutely love seeing kids. That comes through in our website and everything that we do. All of my communication paperwork and all that is filled with our images of kids happy in our office, because they are. But yes, we are like pediatric powerhouse in Dallas, Texas. Love it. And people know what we do, which is great. But what connects with us is just moms, understanding moms, understanding what they're going through. And as long as someone can we're actually the only professions going, this is what is possible. We don't have to chase down this thing or this symptom. We just need to express more of the health that's inside your child. Your baby or your child, they know, their bodies are meant to express health. And I'm excited for what that means for them. And as you're painting that picture and leading them on to what is basically what is to come and what could be, they're able to finally see, no, we're not going to chase just my child can hear again, or my child can sit still in school. It's more of, wow, they're expressing more of who they are. My child's finally happy. I didn't realize how miserable they were. They're, optimized versus just symptomatic.
Right.
Or asymptomatic.
And that's really important, because so many people, but relative to, I think, that they don't get enough of it in their education, struggle with helping people, practice members, make that shift to a vitalistic practice. And at Mile High, everything is focused on a vitalistic model of practice, like you're just talking about. How do you help, speak more vitalistically in practice and help people move from symptoms to potential?
Again, it's from where you come from, right? And you're having to lead that conversation where we meet them where they're at. Obviously a lot of people come in because they do have something going on, and so we have to bridge that gap. But then we can steer the ship to be like, yes, understand that we're going to make sure that the nervous system is going to be functioning at 100%, that we can, release clear out the disturbance that's happening within the nervous system, bring ease back into the system. And I'm excited for what that looks like for your child. And it not in a, we're going to remove your infection, or we're going to take, that's not our lane. That's not what I do, whatever. But, even though they'll go out of the office and be like, we had ear infections and we don't have them anymore. We avoided tooth surgery. And you're like, yes, but you keep circling back to their body is doing that healing. Right. Isn't that amazing? And you're giving that credit back into that child, because, I don't want them thinking that we're the, one-stop shop for ear infections,
Right.
I want them to be it is, yes, we entered in that way, but then we saw what all their body could do with, once it was clear and once it was functioning optimally. And now we're doing growth and development on a way different level than we did before. And my child loves getting it checked and adjusted. And that's the one thing, you walk in, it feels like a family when you walk into our office, and it's just more, and I'm sure in you guys' as well, it's just, people know each other, and kids are fighting people for the table. And, totally standing there watching the next person being like, you're on my table and I need you to move, that kind of thing. But, you're like, it's okay, hold on. But yeah, that's basically kind of painting picture of what it looks like in our office. We definitely enjoy it.
Well, I feel you hit one of the key phrases, which is credit. It's where you give credit. When you give credit back to them, rather than, oh, it's me, or it's chiropractic, or it's our office, and you say it's your body, makes all the difference in that moment. Because I love celebrating that people have had things gone away. I'm very excited when I say, wow, Nate is so amazing, he was able to do this with what little thing I did, and giving that credit to them is I think you just explained that really well.
Yeah, I love it. Plus, if you give yourself credit, then you have to be there all the time.
Right.
What happens when you're gone? If you're then what's the difference between, what they buy at CVS versus you,
Exactly.
So, and that's not what chiropractor was meant for.
Right.
So
1,000%. So if people want to get to know you better or connect with you, what are some ways to connect with you, website or etc.?
Yeah. So on our website, we're servinglifedallas.com. And then we have our Instagram page is Serving Life Chiropractic, and Facebook is Serving Life Dallas, and our Twitter is Serving Life DTX.
I'm noticing a theme.
Yeah. Trying to keep it cohesive. We're trying to keep it all the same so it's not so confusing. But you can also follow me personally at Denisa Weber, Denisa Cloud Weber on Facebook. I don't really have, I mean, that's my page. So,
Awesome.
yeah, love to
Yeah.
connect. So.
And we're excited to have you come out to Colorado. I know you're excited about it. Why are you excited to be at Mile High?
I mean, it's one of those things, like, I've always heard of Mile High, and I've had good friends go, and they live up there, and I'm so excited to get to see them there. But it's just more of, I mean, it is like getting dipped, you know. It is like the whole crew's there, and I'm pumped, one, to be in Mile High City for sure, but two, to be around, like, I feel like it's just a melting pot of all these different, like, chiropractic groups and all these people that I love dearly in different places, but it's a place where everyone's coming together. And I just really am excited about that. You know, same place that I'm going to see Liam, and then Rochelle and you, and then some more people that I just haven't seen in a while, but I dearly love in the chiropractic profession. It's like everyone's coming together into one place. So awesome. Everyone's talking tick. Like, that's what, I mean, when it comes down to it, I mean, that gets me fired up.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you. You mentioned about Colorado. Who doesn't like coming to Colorado? And I know, like, it's like right now I'm looking out my window and we had tons of snow the last couple days, and it's beautiful. And people like associate Colorado with skiing and snowing, but I tell people all the time, if you haven't lived here, like, you've only come here for the snow, right, for skiing or ski trips, like, if you like Colorado in the winter, it's amazing in the summer, and you're going to love it in the summer when we have Mile High in August. It's like, I tell people, don't just come to the program, like, stay an extra day or come a day early and enjoy hiking, or it's like the most beautiful place to be. So
I'm so excited, but I'm super honored to be asked to come. I'm really pumped up.
Well, we're excited to have you. So now you know how to find Denise. So all those websites she's had, I hope you didn't write them down while you were driving. We don't want to cause subluxations. It'll be in the iTunes notes, so you can click them there to get to know her better. And we look forward to seeing everybody in August 16th to 19th, www.milehighchiro.org. Grab your seats. And if you enjoy our podcast and episodes, subscribe, because we put out great content each week, and the subscribers are growing incredibly. I mean, this is downloaded in over 35 countries now, so it's super exciting, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Excited.
All right, everybody, have a great day, and keep changing lives and saving lives and changing minds with chiropractic. Like our page on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Mile High Chiro.